This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Sunday the 1st of December 2013. Welcome along my friends to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, an alert warning has been issued that incoming space debris is heading for London. Also, has the Fukushima nuclear disaster potentially triggered a doomsday event? Also, who's behind the secret space program and the secrets that they don't want you to know about? And what did happen to the Apollo crew when the first official moon landing took place? Okay, into this week's news.
This first report originates from bibliotechpleiades.net, titled "The Moon is a Foreign Nation." Apollo moon astronauts were often followed to the moon at times by UFOs. Official NASA Apollo 12 photograph AS12497319 clearly shows a large UFO hovering over an astronaut walking on the moon. The government agency policies of keeping UFOs secret from the general public is well known and has been well documented in several books by famous astronomers like J. Allen Hynek, who investigated UFOs for the US Air Force, Major Donald Kehoe, Timothy Good in his book Above Top Secrets, and many other professionals. One unquestionably absolute expert we may want to consult is Christopher Kraft, who was director of the NASA tracking base in Houston during the Apollo moon missions, when he revealed the following conversation after he left his work at NASA. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin speaking from the moon. "Those are giant things. No, no, no. This is not an optical illusion. No one is going to believe this. Mission Control, Houston Center. What? What the hell is happening? What's wrong with you? Astronauts, they're here under the surface. Mission Control, what's there? Emission interrupted. Interference control calling Apollo 11. Astronauts, we saw some visitors. They were there for a while, observing the instruments. Mission Control, repeat your last information. Astronauts, I say that there were other spaceships. They're lined up on the other side of the crater. Mission Control, repeat. Astronauts, I didn't have any film at hand. 3 shots of the saucers or whatever they were that were ruining the film. Mission Control here. Are you on your way? Is the uproar with the UFOs over? Astronauts, they've landed there. There they are, and they are watching us. Mission Control, the mirrors. Have you set them up? Astronauts, yes, they're in the right place. But whoever made those spaceships surely can come tomorrow and remove them. Over and out. It is logical that if government agencies keep the existence of UFOs from outer space secret from the public, if they discovered the home of the UFOs, that would obviously be secret also, and they would have to release cover stories about the moon to hide the truth. The problem has been that witnesses have talked to our Department of Interplanetary Affairs. For the full transcript, go to my website, endtimes23.com, where I've posted the link. This report originates from projectcamelotportal.com, titled "Icing and Rocks Headed Our Way," and this was posted on the 16th of October 2013, written by Kerry Cassidy. Stu Webb has added the following note to the original Gordon Duff article regarding icing and incoming rocks, detailed and commented on by me in my previous article, Interstellar Armada and Big Rocks. Statement by Stu Webb. Top secret from intel sources, not the author. Make this viral for all humanity. What the government will not tell you. We all have maybe a week, maybe a month. We have 2 large comets and 3 smaller rocks. They are shooting them now with bombs. Russia also involved. Google Russia rocket test this week. The cover story. Icing is made of platinum or gold. They cannot break them up. If a semi-truck size hits Yellowstone, the volcano goes off. One of the 2 larger football field size is expected to hit London, another to hit the Northern Hemisphere real soon. The one that hit Russia this year was the size of a refrigerator. This report originates from 2012 thebigpicture.wordpress.com, titled Cobra Update, the Secret Space Program, and this was posted on April the 25th, 2013. Are you really ready to hear the whole story? Really ready? How do you suppose people who refuse to accept the extraterrestrial life exists will react to this news when the announcement comes? It's going to be interesting. Posted on the 24th of April 2013, the Secret Space Program. Time has come to finally release some intel about the Secret Space Program. The hidden purpose of the Secret Space Program was to set a stage for the draconian reptilian takeover of the planet. The takeover attempt has failed, and soon the light forces will clear the last vestiges of the draconian control of this planet, the Cabal. The Secret Space Program was started in Germany immediately after the end of World War I. This info originates from the Third Reich Occult History.blogspot.com. In 1934, many races of the Draco Empire contacted the world leaders and made secret treaties with them, offering them advanced military technology in exchange for enslavement of the mass human population. This was the main reason for the great progress of technology in the 30s. All those projects needed financing, and financing came through confiscation of privately owned gold through Gold Reserve Act of 1934. During World War II, draconian forces attempted an open takeover of the planet through Nazi Germany. That attempt failed, with the victory of the Allied forces, and draconians settled for a more covert approach. They imported about 2,000 leading Nazis to the United States through Operation Paperclip, and many of those Nazis still form the backbone of the shadow government that runs the affairs on this planet. After the war, hundreds of thousands of tons of Yashmita gold was put into trading programs which provided financing for the construction of the massive system of underground military bases worldwide. Those bases were built to set the stage for the draconian invasion, which was planned for the year 2000. In the 50s, the Secret Space Program extended and also involved bases on the Moon and Mars. Construction of the bases under the surface of the Earth was ongoing, and in the 90s there were about 120 bases in the United States and about 400 bases worldwide. Additional funding was needed for those projects, and actually every human on the planet contributed about 25% of his salary to those secret projects through siphoning off taxpayers' money. To view the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com, where I posted the link.
This following report originates from bibliotechpleiades.net. The Secret Space Program and construction of the underground bases was operated by Rockefeller, Kissinger, Bush, Rumsfeld, Harper and Cheney military-industrial complex through corporations such as Halliburton, Bartell, Rand, Sandy, Wackenhut, Morton Thickall, Raytheon, Blackwater. The man behind the curtain of the Secret Space Program was John Dale Harpen. His front company, Harpen, Danny & Co., still controls Halliburton, Monsanto, Raytheon and Academy, former Blackwater. The Secret Space Program involved the development of many advanced technologies, as you can see here. ThePromiseRevealed.com posted the following. After much progress had been made by the light forces in the early 90s, the Draco Alliance has decided to invade sooner and instead of the year 2000. Their invasion started in late 1995 at the target date for the invasion, January the 11th, 1996. They decided to crush the very few people who were aware of their plans. On that particular day, they killed Phil Schneider and also attacked me and some other key people. Phil Schneider was speaking openly about the underground military bases. APFN.org posted the following. Between 1996 and 1999, about 500 million reptilians have entered humanoid clone bodies inside those underground bases. After 1996, the resistance movement had started clearing those underground bases and removed all reptilians except for a very few individuals on the surface of the planet. deeper portions of those bases were cleared in 2003. After that, the progress of the light forces was massive. Between 2008 and 2011, the Pleiadians have increased their presence in the Earth's orbit to the extent that NASA was forced to shut down their official manned space program because they could not prevent the leaking of the evidence of Pleiadian presence. In 2012, the resistance movement has removed the vast majority of the physical gold from the hands of the Cabal. This has crippled the Cabal's operations extensively. Now they hide the last few trillions of their money in Liechtenstein due to the fact that they need $2 to $3 billion daily to keep their show running. They could last for 2 or 3 years if their resources would be left untouched, which of course will not be. In early 2013, the resistance movement has cleared all underground facilities of the Cabal through Operation Underlord. Now they have nowhere to hide and they are concerned. For the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com where I've posted the link. This report originates from ascensionwithearth.com, titled Secret Space Program and Missions to the Moon and Mars with John Lear, published on May the 21st, 2013. In his first interview with George Noory, retired airline pilot John Lear spoke on a variety of topics, which included his experience as a pilot, NASA's secret space missions, and life on other planets. A fourth astronaut died in the Apollo 1 fire of 1967, but the reason it wasn't made public was because he belonged to the secret astronaut corps, Lear claimed, based on information he received from a true insider, now deceased. This secret program actually started going to the moon in 1962 and landed on Mars in 1966, apparently using covert anti-gravity technology. He continued, publicized space missions such as the shuttle are actually a cover-up for what is really going on, added Lear. Also kept from the public is the fact that there is life similar to ours on most of the planets in our solar system, he declared. For instance, Mars has a population of 660 million, mostly underground, and Venus is actually green and beautiful. Further, the sky is blue on both Mars and our moon, Lear said. Earth, he asserted, is a farm for harvesting souls, and when people die, their souls travel to the moon, where they are processed by a huge machine, likely the mile-high glass tower spotted by Richard C. Hoagland in NASA's photos, that erases their memories and actually sends them back to Earth to be reincarnated. Lear's controversial disclosure briefing from 2003 was replayed during the show. He now believes that Majestic 12 appears to want UFO alien disclosure to take place, but seeks to put their own less than truthful spin on it. To view the full interview, go to my website endtimes23.com where I've posted the link.
This final report originates from infowars.com, titled Fukushima Reactor 4, Life on Planet Earth in the Balance, The Alex Jones Show, by Kurt Nimon. And this was posted on April 7th, 2012. Diplomat Akio Matsumura is warning that the disaster at the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan may ultimately turn into an event capable of extinguishing all life on Earth. Matsumura posted a startling entry on his blog following a statement made by Japan's former ambassador to Switzerland, Michiru Matsurata, on the situation at Fukushima. Speaking at a public hearing at the Budgetary Committee of the House of Councillors on March the 22nd, 2012, Murat warned that if the crippled buildings at Reactor Unit 4 with 1,535 fuel rods in the spent fuel pool 100 feet 30 metres above the ground collapses, not only will it cause a shutdown of all 6 reactors, but will also affect the common spent fuel pool containing 6,375 fuel rods located some 50 meters from reactor 4, writes Matsumura. In both cases, the radioactive rods are not protected by the containment vessel. Dangerously, they are open to the air. This would certainly cause a global catastrophe like we have never before experienced. He stressed that the responsibility of Japan to the rest of the world is immeasurable. Such a catastrophe would affect us all for centuries. Ambassador Moshirata informed us that the total number of spent fuel rods at the Fukushima Daiichi site, excluding the rods in the pressure vessel, is 11,421. Moshirata then asked Robert Alvarez, former senior policy advisor to the Secretary and Deputy Assistant Secretary for National Security and the Environment at the US Department of Energy, about the impact of such an additional catastrophe at Fukushima. Matsumura, containing radiation at the crippled facility will be no small feat. Alvarez explained spent reactors fuels cannot be simply lifted into the air by a crane as if it were routine cargo. In order to prevent severe radiation exposure, fire and possibly explosions, it must be transferred at all times in water and heavily shielded structures into dry casks, Alvarez told Matsumura. He then said the 11,138 spent fuel assemblies stored at the Fukushima plant contain 134 million curies in cesium-137, roughly 85 times the amount of CS-137 released at the Chernobyl accident, as estimated by the US National Council on Radiation Protection. It is important for the public to understand that the reactors that have been operating for decades, such as those at the Fukushima Daiichi site, have generated some of the largest concentrations of radioactivity on the planet, he concluded. Matsumura admitted it is an astounding number and one difficult to comprehend. He wrote that 85 times more cesium-137 than released at Chernobyl would destroy the world environment and our civilization. This is not rocket science, nor does it connect to the pluralistic debate over the nuclear power plants. This is an issue of human survival. Akira Matsumura sent a letter to the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. It is no exaggeration to say that the fate of Japan and the whole world depends on number 4 reactor. This is confirmed by most reliable experts like Dr. Arne Gundelson or Dr. Fumika Koide. He wrote to Kim Moon, "The world has been made so fragile and vulnerable. The role of the United Nations is increasingly vital. I wish you the best of luck in your noble mission." No word yet if this situation ever registered on the United Nations radar screen. Okay, my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to End Times 23, which is a totally free subscription service. Now guys, if you sent a comment and I haven't got back to you, my friends, you'll have to excuse me, but I'm getting that many comments now, guys. It's getting impossible to answer them all. It took me 4 hours the other day to get through them all. And it's either knock on answering all your comments or knock off me videos, guys. And I think you prefer that I keep on with my videos. So if I don't get back to you, I do send my apologies to my friends. Also, you're invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Or if you'd like to take a look at my blog or join one of my circles on Google+, the links are under this video, my friends. All this week's news links can be found on my website, endtimes23.com. The link is under this video. Just click on the link and go to the top left-hand corner of the opening page and click on the Informer News tab. You'll find all this week's news links at the top of the page under this week's title video. Well, that's your lot for this week, my friends. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back with you in a week's time with another edition of Cosmic News. So until then, this is your Informer signing off, friends. I'll see you on the flip side.
This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Sunday the 1st of December 2013. Welcome along my friends to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, an alert warning has been issued that incoming space debris is heading for London. Also, has the Fukushima nuclear disaster potentially triggered
Clearance control calling Apollo 11. Astronauts, we saw some visitors. They were there for a while, observing the instruments. Mission control, repeat your last information. Astronauts, I say that there were other spaceships. They're lined up on the other side of the crater. Mission control, repeat. Astronauts, I didn't have any film at hand. 3 shots of the saucers or whatever they were that were ruining the film. Mission control here. Are you on your way? Is the uproar with the UFOs over? Astronauts, they've landed there. There they are, and they are watching us. Mission control, the mirrors. Have you set them up? Astronauts, yes, they're in the right place. But whoever made those spaceships surely can come tomorrow and remove them.
A doomsday event. Also, who's behind the secret space program and the secrets that they don't want you to know about? And what did happen to the Apollo crew when the first official moon landing took place? Okay, into this week's news.
This first report originates from bibliotechpleiades.net, titled "The Moon is a Foreign Nation." Apollo moon astronauts were often followed to the moon at times by UFOs. Official NASA Apollo 12 photograph AS12497319 clearly shows a large UFO hovering over an astronaut walking on the moon. The government agency policies of keeping UFOs secret from the general public is well known and has been well documented in several books by famous astronomers like J. Allen Hynek, who investigated UFOs for the US Air Force, Major Donald Kehoe, Timothy Good in his book Above Top Secrets, and many other professionals. One unquestionably absolute expert we may want to consult is Christopher Kraft, who was director of the NASA tracking base in Houston during the Apollo moon missions, when he revealed the following conversation after he left his work at NASA. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin speaking from the moon. Those are giant things. No. This is not an optical illusion. No one is going to believe this. Mission control, Houston Center. What? What the hell is happening? What's wrong with you? Astronauts, they're here under the surface. Mission control, what's there? Emission interrupted. Over and out. It is logical that if government agencies keep the existence of UFOs from outer space secret from the public, if they discovered the home of the UFOs, that would obviously be secret also, and they would have to release cover stories about the moon to hide the truth. The problem has been that witnesses have talked to our Department of Interplanetary Affairs. For the full transcript, go to my website, endtimes23.com, where I've posted the link. This report originates from projectcamelotportal.com, titled "Ison and Rocks Headed Our Way," and this was posted on the 16th of October 2013, written by Kerry Cassidy. Stu Webb has added the following note to the original